Hey, thanks for checking out my channel. And if you're a subscriber and you've come back, thanks for coming back. I love you. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, and this is my review of Minions: The Rise of Gru. Illumination! I'm a blind film critic. I have seen the other Despicable Me films. I believe I'm using that word correctly. I want to also say that I've actually seen them. I vaguely remember Despicable Me 3. I remember not liking it. So I've kind of deleted that experience from my mind, although I do believe I did actually see it. I know I've seen the other 3 because I like them, and I believe I own them on DVD somewhere. So going into this, I would have said 1, 2, Minions, and then 3. So this technically, they're all kind of the same thing, to just be honest. I realize Minions 1 doesn't really feature Gru, it just features the Minions, and people were like, oh, do they need their own franchise? And the answer was not really, but it showed us where the Minions came from. This one is not really a Minions film. This is more of a Despicable Me prequel. It just shows the rise of Gru is actually what this is. They just put Minions in front of it. The Minions are in this film, but then again, the Minions are in every Despicable Me film, so I don't really understand how this becomes a Minions film and not a Despicable Me film. Maybe they just thought nobody would watch a Despicable Me prequel, so they threw it into the Minions franchise. It's very weird. But this Steve Carell as Gru is quite prominent in this film, and takes up a lot of screen time. Yes, you have your little minions, and they're running around, and they're all doing their own cute little adorable things, and I got all of that through the audio description. And I know what a minion looks like, so I imagine I can't remember the differences between each one of them and how they look to. No, I can't remember that much, but they basically look the same. They're just wearing like different costumes. But this is a film about a little boy named Gru who just really wants to be a villain. That's like all he wants in life. And he's at school, and the teacher's going through the classroom and is asking all the kids in class, what do you want to be when you grow up? My favorite thing actually was not when Gru said, I want to be a supervillain. I want to be part of the Villainous Six, or whatever the name of that group was. And it's when the one kid goes, I want to be a teacher. And she's like, no, you don't. I was just like, oh my God, that's humor for adults. But anyway, so Gru, he wants to be a villain, and he's come up with some cute and clever ways already. He's invented some things, and with the Minions, he does this one thing where he really wants to watch Jaws by himself, and it's like a sold-out showing, so he throws this like fart bomb into a theater so he can watch Jaws by himself because it causes everybody else to evacuate. And he gets an opportunity to try to join this supervillain group, and of course they laugh at him because he's a kid, and the one villain played by Taraji P. Henson is like, come back when you've stolen something that impresses me. So like immediately in that moment, the film gives him the opportunity to steal something. And that kind of just sets the course for the rest of the film. The other impressive stuff here is Dr. Nefario. This is sort of his origin story. It shows where he came from as well. And there's a character played by Alan Arkin who I liked a lot, and probably adds a lot to the film in terms of emotional weight and comedic talent. And I'm really glad Alan Arkin was able to do this. Because I think it's a perfect role for him. I know he's basically edging into retirement. But this is a really nice, poignant performance from him in a film that doesn't normally need poignant performances because the minions are just running around doing really crazy stuff. I don't know what the next Despicable Me is going to be. Is it going to show us like where the three girls came from? Like, are we going to get their backstory? I don't know, because the next film would be Despicable Me unless there's some like Gru the college years. I don't know. Like at that point, I don't know. But yeah, that's basically the film. It it it's it's not a terrible way to spend time with your kids. It's also not the best Despicable Me film. We're 5 films deep into this franchise. I'm counting Minions. It's all the same franchise. So yeah, it's it's a lot of what we've seen before, and it's kind of why the film is losing a little bit of steam. Creatively, it does get a little bit of juice by going the origin route. It does get a little bit of juice through Alan Arkin's character, but it has a lot of forgettable characters. I couldn't even tell you who the other 5 members are of the group. I don't know that I could actually remember all of them. I can't even remember the name of the group because I didn't care enough about their story or why they were in the film or any of it. I just remember Taraji P. Henson being the main. They all kind of have dumb names too, if I'm really honest. Like, so yeah, it just didn't help. I didn't really like Despicable Me 3 because like Gru's brother was the villain, which was weird. His twin brother, like, it was just a weird presentation. It's sort of Minions kind of had forgettable villains. So it's been a while. Despicable Me has a weird thing with an antagonist where because Gru is supposed to be an antagonist, he's an anti-hero. It has a hard time always showing you somebody who could actually be a real villain, but also keeping it kid-friendly. So oftentimes Gru ends up facing off against people who you just really are not invested in, with stories, with no backstories, no character, nothing like that. So, this was fine. It was fine. It's a nice way to spend time with your kids. You won't be bored. There are a couple of times where the film is funny. I really loved the pet rock, Otto's journey with the stone and the pet rock, and that was cute. It was funny at the end of the day. So yeah, there are times when the film can be charming, when it can be funny, when it can have some emotional weight to it, and it's enough to kind of push you through the runtime. This is actually kind of a short movie. I don't even think this ran 90 minutes. So you won't spend that long with these Minions. If you are not that big of a fan, but your kids are, go ahead. Just it'll be fine. This is a fine film. I hope it doesn't. I don't know what film is going to win animated Oscar this year. I really don't. I hope it's not this. I don't know. The funniest thing is that most of the animated films that I've seen that I really like this year, I don't even know if they're eligible. Oddly enough, I think Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe is my favorite animated feature this year, and I would say maybe The Sea Beast would be the most likely one to get nominated. But I wasn't a huge fan of Turning Red, and that feels like the front runner right now. So I don't even know what the other nominees will be. We'll see. I think it's wide open. Enjoyed it. It's on Peacock. It's got audio description. I thought it was going to get to the narrator this time. Peacock always cuts me off and tries to send me into something else that thinks I might want to watch. But it let me go for a while because there are like outtakes, and the not really outtakes, but the the minions are kind of like bouncing around on the screen and doing silly things throughout like the first half of the credits. So it keeps you there while the minions are doing things. It actually describes what they're doing. So there's something. But yeah, it was well described. The narrator definitely has a great voice for doing films aimed at kids. So your kids will love it. That's all I can say. I don't know that you will, but I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and give Minions: The Rise of Gru a B-. That's my grade for this. And let me know what you think in the comments. And try to throw me a subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. So I think it's doable. I'm within striking range. I'm on the far end of striking range, but I'm within striking range. And December 31st is still far away. So let's see if we can get there. I'd like to get in the triple digits. I think that'd be fun. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description, where you can watch it. There's also my website, macthemovieguy.com, for more reviews. And also theadna.org will let you know who's narrating what. And yeah, that's it. So I got to review something else, and I will see you on the other side.